Hey everyone, it's Lizzie. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a couple of weeks actually since I have filmed and uploaded a paycheck budget video for you guys. I did fill out the first paycheck of November, but I was not able to have it uploaded. If you guys want me to kind of review my November budget and the first couple of weeks of November, let me know in the comments section down below. Please update us on how you have things set up so that way I can go ahead and share that with you guys. But I want to go ahead and just film this and share how we worked out our mid-month budget for our second pay of November. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, then keep on watching. All right, so the first thing that we do is, of course, we date it, and then if there's anything left over in my checking account, so the available balance that I have, I am a person that likes to keep track of my money that's in my bank account, so I have a checkbook register. And I did a video about how to balance out a checkbook. If I remember, I'll link it up above and also in the description box for you guys to see how I balance out my checkbook. This is leftover money of our gas, and then also there was a bit of a difference in my electric bill. So, well, you're gonna see the numbers here in just a minute on how my my ADT security was, I took out a little bit less than I normally do week by week. So it kind of adjusted my budget like I wasn't expecting. So anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and fill in our paychecks. So both my husband and I, we received a pay, and I'm gonna fill in those numbers here. So this was the starting amount in the account, so what I had available. We did not spend $15.88, which is nice, so I have to factor that in to my income. So one of the paychecks that we received was $650.49, and the other was $966.20. So now what I like to do is just add up what the starting balance was in my account and then add up each of the paychecks. So $15.88 plus $650.49 and $966.20. So that leaves a total income of $1,632.57. So now with everyone's budget, you do this part differently. So I am not one to tell you have to do this section. I believe, and what my husband and I have grown up believing, it's part of what we do. We give our first to God, which is our tithe. By giving our 10%, we know that it is going to bless people. It's going to bless communities. It's going to grow God's kingdom. And that's what we believe. And if you don't believe it, continue on, fast forward through this video and go to the cash envelope stuffing part. But this is what my husband and I believe, and we have been blessed by doing this. And this is really like a spiritual thing. If you guys are interested in hearing a little bit more, if you're not a tither, or if you just have questions about this, let me know in the comments. I'm very interested in doing a specific video related to tithing and what the Bible says about it and all of that stuff, and why we do what we do when it comes to this part of my budget. But this part is personal, and it is non-negotiable for us. This is the first thing that we do whenever we get paid. We give 10% of what our income is. So that is this part here. So these two, we take 10% of what we got paid, and we just give it directly to the church. And yeah, so I don't want to really debate about that. But that is just what we do, and we've received many blessings for doing that. It's the craziest thing, crazy stories. If you have any stories of ways that God has blessed you, leave it in the comments. It's amazing, and it encourages people's faith by sharing those testimonies and things. But I'd really be interested in hearing ways that God has blessed you and your family for giving your tithe or an offering. It's amazing to see what God has done. But moving on, we gave 10%, which I rounded up to 162. Now is the part for the expenses. So I have this bill tracker here. I have everything like marked out. So I only did for the first, I was starting to fill out because it was a new bill tracker, but I just filled in the first 2 paychecks, and that's what we are budgeting out here for. So I set aside a specific amount from each paycheck for these expenses. And so this is an easy way for you if you are like overwhelmed, like not knowing how much you should set aside for when you get paid. Writing things out like this on a little spreadsheet, it can, and dividing it up by the paychecks, it will alleviate a lot of that stress for you. That's what I have found helpful. So I hope that you guys find it helpful too. This is available on my Etsy shop, and everything is always in the description box of things that I use in these videos. So check that out first. But yeah, I have everything written out and the amounts that I am setting aside. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill this out really quickly, and then we can get on to the cash envelope portion of this video. All right, so I have filled in the expenses portion. These are all of the fixed expenses. So I have everything from my mortgage down to gas. Gas is a variable expense, but I still listed here on my expense portion. Now I want to point out one thing to you guys, and that is the, oh, do I have it listed here? No, I did mention something earlier about what was remaining up here, and that was balances left from gas and other things. We have ADT, and that for this month they gave us a credit, so the payment was less than what we anticipated. The usual payment for ADT is $63. We ended up paying $44. So I think that that's what some of the remaining balance here was. But things like that may happen, and it just took a phone call for me to let them know that my camera was not working, and they gave me a credit. So if you're running into anything like that on any of your bills, interrupted service, anything like that, always call customer service and be nice and just explain to them, hey, you're paying for a service that you're expecting to perform to the level that you purchased it for, and it is not performing that way. Is there any way that you can provide us with a credit and possibly fix the issue? So that's something that is a tip, with possibly seeing if you can get some sort of a credit, because you are paying for a service and it should run smoothly. So that is that part that I wanted to share. But yeah, these are the expenses that I set aside based on my bill tracker here. I just added everything up side by side and marked it off here, so that way I know I'm on track with my expenses, and I am, you know, good with having the money set aside when they do get auto deducted from my account. So now, taking income, subtracting the giving, and subtracting the expenses, I'm left with $361.67. And with this, looking at my monthly budget, so most of you know who have been following me for a while, I recommend the EveryDollar app. It is a very nice way on how to keep track of your budget. It makes sure you're giving every dollar a job. And with this, looking at the EveryDollar, I saw that we have certain goals of putting money towards our savings account. Now go ahead and I'll flip to my November budget so you guys can see. So looking at the November budget, we have goals of putting towards car. We're really not filling our cash envelopes that much this month. We're putting a little bit less, but we are going to be contributing to our vacation envelope, some money to spending, and different things. So with the rest, we will be putting towards our car savings and also the emergency fund. So, but if you see here, I'll zoom you guys in so you can see it better. As you see here in the savings box for my monthly budget, we had planned to set aside $30 for emergency and then for $447.81. Now, things have changed a little bit. As I mentioned, ADT changed, so I had wanted to contribute a little bit more to these items, and I know a few other things changed as well, and I will give you guys an update come month end when I will do the review. But we are going to be contributing some money to our savings accounts. Nothing extra is going to debt, so I'm just going to put a line through this box here. We are going to put money to the savings, and I will get to that after we figure out what we're going to set aside for our cash envelopes. So first thing is groceries. I always do this one first when I'm planning out this part of the budget. I have a budget for it's usually $300. I know I budgeted a little bit less this month, but typically it's $75 a week, and that is actually what we're going to be setting aside for this week. $75 for groceries. Based on my monthly budget, you guys saw vacation, there was $100, so I'm just going to take the entire $100 and stuff that to that envelope, and I will be fully funded for that based on my budget. For pet, we're going to set aside $50. And car maintenance, I'm just going to put $5 in that, and that will complete what I wanted to put aside for that. Another thing, I had taken some money from one of my envelopes, and I have to reimburse myself, which I shouldn't be borrowing from my cash envelopes, but I needed $10, and it was actually from a side job that my husband did, and we wanted to tithe from it. So we took $10 from another envelope, and now I have to put it back. So I'm just gonna make a note here for spending that we have to put money back in the spending account was $10. So the total amount of this cash envelope section, we're just gonna add this up, 75, 100, 55, and 10. So 240 is the total cash for this. Now, taking 361.67 and subtracting the 240 leaves us with $121.67 that we have to put somewhere. And the only other place that we can put it, based on my little sections here, is savings, which is wonderful because we have our goals of saving for a car, and we also want to keep funding our emergency fund to bring it back to that baby step number one, which is the $1,000. So for the emergency, what I had planned out, and I will give you guys an update come month end, we're gonna put $43.03 because that's what my every dollar budget says. I know that the paper form says one other thing, but we had to adjust a few numbers as I mentioned. So 4303 is what's on my every dollar, and that's what I'm going to put aside here, and that will complete my goal of putting money into the emergency fund for the time being. The rest, anything extra, is going to go to our car fund based on the difference. So we have 4303. So that is what we are going to be putting in our car fund. So 7864 is what we're going to transfer into the car fund. So 4303. Yeah. So it was 121.67 that was a difference. We have to make sure that we give every dollar a home, and that is what I have done. So this is a simple way on how to plan out your budget. So now what I do is I figure out what my cash denominations are, and I like to withdraw my tithe cash because I have an envelope for that. And then all of these, I'm gonna go ahead and withdraw the funds as well, which I've already done, but let's figure out how many denominations we need. So it's 1, 150, 60, 2, 50, 75. I know I did 5 20s, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1 for pet, 20, 40, 50, 5, and then a 10. Okay, so 100, 2 50s, 8 20s, 3 10s, 2 5s, and 2 singles is what we need for our cash envelopes. So let me move this aside and we can walk through stuffing the cash envelopes. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and get stuffing these cash envelopes. So I have everything laid out here and we're gonna get started. First thing I like to start with is groceries, and I have put $75. And I know that we had funds left over because we didn't end up going to the grocery store as much as what we thought, which is good. So we have currently $42 left in this envelope, and we're gonna add $75 to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So we have a 50, 20, and a 5. I'm gonna go grocery shopping in a bit, so I'm gonna keep this in my purse for right now. We are not setting anything aside for that. Car maintenance is getting $5. So there's currently $40 in here. Slowly but surely, I'm growing this, which is nice. Okay. Christmas, we are not funding any additional funds to this. I did share a bit about that in one of my videos. If you have questions about it, leave it in the comments. I'd be more than willing to answer that for you. Date night, we're not putting anything there. We have been getting like these random gifts with gift cards, go out to eat, which has been amazing. And I'm telling you, it's the little things like that. I absolutely get so excited for that, and I just am so thankful to God for providing for us in that way. And it could be something as simple as like a $5 Starbucks gift card, but I'm able to treat myself to those types of things without having to actually spend my money, which is truly, it's a blessing for real. Giving, I know you can't see it on the screen here, but it's 162. So 150, 62. And I'll just take this with me to church. Home fund, currently not funding anything there. Pet is getting $50. And there's $3 in here right now. So there's 53 in here now. And that would last us pretty much for the entire month, getting our dogs food and things. Spending, we're reimbursing this envelope $10. There should be, based on this, oops. There's supposed to be $20 in here. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, and 20. So that goes right back to where it was. Toiletries is not getting anything now. And vacation is getting 100. So that's what this should be. 20, 40, 60, 81. Okay. Because we are going out of town very soon, and we just want to make sure that we have some funds left, or some funds to be able to take with us there. So 11:15, I'll just put balance. There's currently 20, 25, 6, 7, 8, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33 in this envelope. And we are adding 100. So there's 133. So some spending money, which is good. All right. So that, guys, is everything for today's cash envelope stuffing video and paycheck budget video for you guys. If you guys have any questions at all about what I went over, leave it in the comments. I answer all of the comments. I try my best to respond to all of your questions that you may have. I am more active on my Instagram. I'll put my Instagram handle up here so you guys can follow me over there and send me a DM. I'm very interactive with you guys and really try to establish a relationship, because I would love for our community here to grow and really support one another. And this is a place where we are to encourage one another and not bash each other's ways of doing budgeting. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video, then give this a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in a brand new video. Bye guys.